right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachahakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and well. Shalom to the elect. 144,000 pushing truth in all sincerity in the four quarters of the earth. I'm your brother Tabal Yakunah coming at you with another quick one, and Lord willing, it's edifying. All right, got in the news real quick. This guy Elon Musk. Hey man, he's looking at starting up this new party. He says Elon Musk is from BBC News, other places too, announcing that Elon Musk is forming the America Party. He was talking about this a while ago, not too long ago, on Twitter X. Just kind of posed the question, but you had an idea like, yeah, this is coming down. This is coming down the chute, man. You know, and it lines up with a lot of how ancient Rome, broke down. All right. So I asked Grok, how did the ancient Rome's political system contribute to its downfall? It says ancient Rome's political system, evolving from a republic to an empire, played a significant role in its eventual downfall through a combination of structural weaknesses, power struggles, and institutional decay. Here's a breakdown of key contributing factors. Over-reliance on military power. The Roman Republic's political system gave significant influence to military leaders, as successful generals gained loyalty from their legions and used victories to secure political power. This led to civil wars, like those between Marius and Sulla, or Caesar and Pompey, weakening the state. In the empire, the emperors often depended on the military for legitimacy, making them vulnerable to coups by ambitious generals or the Praetorian Guard, who could install or depose rulers. Another bullet point says corruption and wealth inequality. The Republican system, with its Senate and magistrates, was prone to corruption as wealthy elites dominated politics. We see that going on right now. You can, with the big beautiful bill that's gonna, it's making that gap between the have and the have-nots that much bigger. It's gonna give more of the benefit, meaning more, basically, essentially more money to the wealthy, and take all these government programs that are given to the quote unquote to the people. SNAP and Section 8. All you welfare queens. Hey, y'all gonna what the scriptures say? How's it go? The bread. Yeah, so like, I forget exactly how it goes, but the scriptures speak about how basically the benefits and of the system is going to dry up, man, especially for you so-called black women. All right, so reading on, this is the influx of wealth from conquest widened the gap between the patricians and plebeians. And we understand that that's today in this Roman Empire, a revived Roman Empire. If we go to the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 11th verse, we'll go into it. It says, "And I beheld another beast." And we go over this all the time. It says that beast is the revival of the Roman Empire. All right, coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb. Right, those two horns is going into that the two-party system of the ancient Romans. But in these times, it's it was called the plebeians, or the plebeians and the patricians. In this time, it's the Democrats and the Republicans. Right, so it says two horns like a lamb. And so when you go into that lamb, it's speaking about peace. It was disguised as peace. All right, and that's what America, which is Babylon the Great, Revelation 17th chapter, that whore that rides the beast back, it disguises itself as. It disguises itself as peace. All right, it says, and he spake as a dragon. All right, and that dragon, let's see if we go to Daniel, the 8th chapter. And the 25th verse, it says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. We just saw Trump just passed this big, beautiful bill. All right. And that craft is it's like witchcraft, man. You know, and it's also just laws to control the people, you know. And in this time, the dragon also speaks of, it also goes, the word draconian, which is paired with draconian laws. Draconian laws meaning, let's see if we can get a real quick definition for it. It goes into like harsh, very harsh laws. And this is what we're about to see. This is why the scriptures speak about Trump or Nero. It speaks about a cruel Lord in Isaiah 19. That cruel Lord being Donald Trump, who is Nero, Emperor Nero coming back. Okay. So, this is the word draconian. It says extremely harsh or severe, especially in regards to rules or punishment. This is from the name of the Greek statesman Draco, whose name meant sharp-sighted, and from which we also get the word dragon. All right, history. Draco, the Greek statesman, laid down a code of laws for Athens around 621 BC. His laws mandated death as punishment for minor crimes. They were known as draconian laws. You see, and we're seeing that ramp up more and more as this this current administration progresses. You know, it only been around for a little over 6 months, man. Revelation 12:12, we read it all the time. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. That devil, Esau, Edom, starting with his elite bankers. And they're puppeteering all of these kings in the earth, man, trying to get their NWO off the ground. Why? It reads, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Yeah, so they got to press the people in order to get this NWO off the ground, man. Because he knows that he has a short time. He knows that in due season, his time is going to be a wrap, man. As it's written in 2nd Ezra 6th chapter and 9th verse. Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. They know that. That's why they got bunkers and all of that. They know that World War III is on the way. They know that America's going to be destroyed. America, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed with ICBM missiles. This is why they have bunkers. They know these things. But it don't. But the Lord still He still controls the minds of the kings, man. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. All right. So, just going back to, so there's over reliance on military power. We see that. We see the mobilization. We just had a big old display of power with the 250-year anniversary of the military or the army. And they had a big old parade. I mean, when you look at it, what they were parading up and down the street didn't look like anything. It looked like historical vehicles, and it was for the most part. But brothers, before the parade before it happened, brothers was posting, man, look at this, man. We got a whole, there's a whole train filled with a bunch of tanks. They weren't parading those tanks up and down that D.C. It was like a tank here, a tank there, specialty tank there. What they showed, what brothers was posting, was tens, maybe hundreds of tanks on flatbeds being transported via train somewhere. So the devil goes back to deceiver, man. He's a deceiver. He's not playing checkers. All right. And especially not this devil. Emperor Nero coming back. All right. This is all right. So we have the over-reliance on military power, corruption, and wealth inequality. So they're talking about, you got the Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. So they're cutting out all the, the quote unquote corruption and putting it in the hands of their partners, their rich partners. And it's just going to make that gap grow. So you got Elon, and I'm going to just jump to that real quick so this don't be too long. You got Elon, he what we started out with, he's making that new party, that America party. And he went on his platform that he runs, Twitter X, and he did a poll, his own little personal poll. And the verdict came back that, a certain amount of people, let me see if I can get it in this other article entitled Musk Announces New America Party is Formed, Cementing Split from Trump and Republicans. You know what that brings to mind. If Satan be divided against Satan, how can his kingdom stand? Roughly paraphrasing. But it says a third party has never been able to thrive. That's not for. Okay, here it is. It says, what do we know of the America Party?